Welcome to Double Take Dave, episode 2. This is your host, David Roberts. Let's get this party started.
It's Double Take Dave. It's Double Take Dave. It's Double Take Dave.
And now it's time for Dave's Dive In.
So let me start with this. The Lakers are fine. They're fine. Everybody all week were saying, oh my God, let's panic. They're losing. Okay, first of all, they already clinched the first seed. So everything is meaningless unless they want to establish some rhythm. And LeBron James, all the players play off LeBron James. If his foot's off the gas, then everyone else's foot off the gas. If his foot's on the gas, then everyone plays well. That's just how it works. They feed off LeBron's energy. It's always been like that. Same with AD. So don't panic. People like to panic. Have you ever had your car keys and you didn't know where they were, but they were in your jacket pocket the whole time? It's kind of like that. You're not thinking logically, and then you finally find it because you calm down and breathe and take a second. Like, you know what? Where did I have it last? Do you think? LeBron and AD come playoff time are going to play way better, and that means the role players play better. They feed off his energy. So all week on ESPN and Fox Sports, oh my God, what are they going to do? They're fine. Always don't doubt the greats. Don't doubt MJ. Don't doubt Tom Brady. Don't doubt Tiger. They always come through in the clutch, and that's just what's going to happen. And yes, like I said last week, beating the Clippers is going to be tough. It's going to be hard. But like I said, they need to impose their will. But the Blazers are going to beat them. Blazers won't beat them. Blazers play no defense, okay, at all. And yeah, they have great players and shooters, but their shooters are on or off. They'll have no answer for AD. If the Lakers lose to the 8 seed Blazers, which the Blazers will be the 8 seed, trust me, they're going to beat the Grizzlies. I will literally leave this show and you'll never see me again if they lose. Book that on Double Take Dave.
Dave's Double Take.
Will sports get canceled? That's been the question all these weeks. Here's your answer. No. Yes, I'm being a little optimistic because I can't deal without sports again. I was watching reality TV shows with my girlfriend for the last 4 months and it was miserable. No offense. Don't hate me for that one. But Odell Beckham earlier in the week on social media said that the NFL shouldn't have a season. First of all, Odell, you've been controversial. Isn't it time to take care of business and just play football? You're always this drama. Just play football. Don't say anything. And NFL gave you a choice to play, Odell. So if you don't like it, then don't play. God, I hate when people bitch about things. If you don't like it, don't play. They gave you a choice. Shut up and play football. The Browns paid you a lot of money and show up this year. College football, they need it. They just can't afford to not have a season. And even without fans, they just need to make it happen. And you see they're doing that with the 10-game schedule with most conferences. And the MLB, everyone's freaking out about the Marlins and Cardinals having corona. Yeah, it's definitely a little worrisome, but guess what? They're still playing. Unless a lot of teams have it, all leagues are going to still happen. You don't think these owners and commissioners, you don't think they knew that corona was going to hit players? Of course they did. That's why they had backup plans. Look what the NFL is doing. Every day there's just, you got to do a whole protocol. So at the end of the day, it's happening. And the only people I'm going to hear about not happening is people that actually that I trust their word. I don't trust their word with Odell Beckham. So Odell Beckham, just shut up and play football.
Now it's time for Dave's Corner.
This week's guest is a local legend from Denver, Colorado. Gil Casino, how you doing today?
Tip top.
Good. He was the type of guy that would wear shorts in negative 20 degrees weather. Everybody was like, what is he doing? And those suburban dads would come out and, they'd be all soft with their kids and good game. And here comes Gil with his veins popping out. And everybody was scared. But, Gil, you were a winner, so I like winners on my show.
Well, actually, people don't realize that, but I think one of the important things with younger people is you don't want to emphasize the winning from your point of view as a coach, because it makes it about you wanting to win a game. I made sure that the kids wanted to win the game themselves, and it was always very, very important to me that they don't feel like we have to win for coach or we have to win for. They needed to find it in themselves. I pumped them up. I got them going. I made them feel the spirit of the game, which is super important. And but more important to me was every player out there would only benefit ultimately from their own sense of what it takes to win or be good at something. And that's what I try to emphasize. I try to de-emphasize my need to win. It was more important that they find it.
I love it, Gil. Well said. Okay, let's get this started. Let's talk about your top 5 quarterbacks of all time, some barbershop talk. Let's see if we get some
I
debates
have a
going on.
love-hate relationship with quarterbacks, and but there are some exciting ones throughout history. I think they get too much of the blame, too much of the credit, and it's always going to be like that. But there are some that are legit and definitely deserve every ounce of accolades that they get. And believe it or not, number one, everybody chastises me because of their history, meaning as in he doesn't have a history to speak of, is Patrick Mahomes. I saw Patrick Mahomes. I saw him throw for the first time in the first game. I saw him in college. Then I saw him again in the pros. And then I kept going. Halfway through the season, I had goosebumps. And I was in shock at what I was witnessing. It was Brady, Manning, it was all of it combined. He had the precision that was just beyond words.
Yeah, he's very special, and like I said, I went to Texas Tech games. I went to about 10 of them, so I saw this guy. And when he got drafted to the Chiefs, I was like, oh no, we're in trouble for the next 10 years. This is like having Manning and Brady in a division. But Gil, I'm not ready for him to even be in top 5 yet. I think by the end of his career, yes. But I just you got to finish, in my opinion, you got to finish your career first. What if he never wins a Super Bowl again? Are you going to say he's the best?
That's my thing.
To me, he's the best going forward unless he develops an addiction or does something stupid like
he's
that.
a pretty good guy. I don't think you'll see him in
he's
that
a pretty
TMZ.
good guy. So, barring an ethical shortfall or some crazy thing like that, to me, even if he doesn't win another one, he's the best one I have ever seen. And I've seen some of the best ones. I've seen Johnny U play live. I'm a huge fan of Johnny U. He's not my second on the list, but I am a big fan. Whenever I would coach kids or I would coach or tell people about the position of quarterback, I gave them each a personality. To me, the quarterback was the nerd of the team, which always made some kids cringe. I'm not a nerd. And I said, I hate to tell you, the best ones are nerds, okay? And by nerds, I mean they are QB IQ off the charts.
So let me
Never
start
mind as in, so we go to number 2.
Yeah.
Perfect lead into that. To me, the best dissector, pinpoint. I mean, his brain works at warp speed, and that's Tom Brady. One of the things I like to emphasize to people is how the game of football has changed from the time I was a young man to now. All sports have become more and more creative. And this is an important distinction in football that fans, unless you've been watching the game and you've been as much of a nerd of the game as I've been, you might not notice it. But real quick, just imagine a line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Got center, guard, tackle, and tight end. They would call a play through, let's say, the 4-hole, and it would be the number 3 back, and it would call a 34 dive.
Yeah.
If you took the ball on a 34 dive and you saw no hole and you bounced out or did something like that, you'd get chewed out. Okay?
Exactly.
Go to the hole, punch the hole.
Oh, yeah.
Do not create. They hated for it. Football coaches used to despise the word create.
Yeah.
They were not about that.
And now it's all about it.
Now it's all about it. If a lineman went up there and said, this guy's in my gap, he was supposed to be heads up on me, and makes a call at the line, they used to get pissed off about that.
Exactly.
So now it's exactly the opposite. It's you've got to be a smart guy. No dummies live in the NFL.
Yep.
And it's just a fact, even in college. So I love the new game, but the things that happen between the quarterback and receivers, and including tight ends and running backs, and the line of scrimmage, is absolutely amazing.
I agree.
The thought processes that go on before the play even
It's
snaps.
unreal.
Hey, but Gil,
It's
really quick.
unbelievable.
Before you go on, I'm going to tell you my 1 and 2 really quick. to me, Joe Montana's the best to ever do it. And the reason I have him above Tom and everybody else, that guy won 4 rings. And as great as Brady is, you would say 2 of those 3 Super Bowls were literally just Bill Belichick winning those Super Bowls. Like, especially the Rams game. I mean, that wasn't Brady. That was Belichick. Montana won them the Super Bowls. And you watched the Niners game. He never was the biggest athlete or anything, but he just won. And he was 4 for 4. Exactly. And I hate when people...
There wasn't much there.
And I hate when people say, oh, Brady had Bill. Montana had Walsh. Mahomes has Reed. Name me a player that didn't have a good coach that won a championship. Nobody.
And in all fairness to the rest of them, Brady had the guy, if you were to tell me who is the best OC, offensive coordinator of all time,
yeah,
Josh McDaniels would be right up there, top 2 maybe for me.
Oh, he's pretty good, but not head coach.
No. I'm talking strictly.
And I'm going to talk that about next week, the difference between OCs and head coach is a whole different ballgame.
Whole different ballgame. But as an OC who can make adjustments and read you, and dissect you and understand the talent that he has, he gives me goosebumps. I love to watch him call a game. It's phenomenal. Josh McDaniels, to me, is a godsend to a guy like Brady. Yeah. I think Brady, though, and this is my last line about him.
Yeah.
When the ball is snapped and he goes back and starts surveying the field, that's when he's number 1 for me.
Yeah.
Because his ability to read the adjustments and read his receivers and what they're going to do, not based on the play, but based on what he's staring in the backfield. I mean, yes, Montana, that's a close call for me.
Yeah.
Very, very close call on number 2.
Yeah.
But Brady, I think, just does it better.
And I got Brady at 2, and then I got Peyton Manning at 3. Some people say Peyton is better than Tom from the aspect of you put Peyton on the Browns, he would win. I'm not necessarily true if Brady goes to another team, would he win? But in that year, Manning had 55 and touchdowns and 10 interceptions. Like, that was unreal. And really quick, I got John Elway at 4, and I got Dan Marino at 5. I think if Marino won Super Bowls, I'd probably have him as the best ever from a talent.
Marino is hard to ignore.
Exactly.
I know of Marino on a personal level, and I know some of the ways that he was. The only thing I never, ever, ever liked about Dan Marino was his sideline behavior. I thought he brought the morale down by his need to be perfect. Yeah. Manning is the perfect example. Oh. There is nobody that's more of a perfectionist than Peyton Manning.
And he went to Gary Kubiak and changed everything. He wasn't in shotgun anymore. He changed his whole thing.
I could see myself playing on a team with Marino and wanting to punch him half the time.
Oh, yeah.
But I could not see that with Peyton Manning.
You want to give Peyton Manning a little kiss on the cheek.
Yeah. The last couple, we already talked about, we've got Mahomes, Brady, Montana, Manning. And then the rest is really a tie.
And I got John Elway at 4. You got John
Marino,
Elway?
Yeah. Johnny U and Bradshaw, to me, for various reasons.
It's very close.
All there. So for various reasons. John will always be an emotional, we all love him. We all love him for the reasons we know. I think John's biggest tragedy is he was trapped in the wrong system.
Yeah. And he was. I think if you got him the right system, that guy gets 4 or 5 rings. But the NFC was so much tougher back then, and you know that. It was a whole different ball game. Let's go to top 5 defenses. Who do you have at 1?
Take your pick, but I've always been very, very, very partial. Not because I think they outdistance everyone, but just love that style of defense, the Raven.
Yeah,
the 2000 Ravens to me will always go down with what, real quick.
Yeah.
I have a thing that I have told all my kids that I coach, and I tell anybody that I know that wants to talk football. The game of football, the spirit of the game lives under defense.
Yep. Well said.
That's where the game of football, that's where its spirit lives, is in the game of defense.
I mean, they wouldn't let you get a yard. I mean, it was smack football. I mean, it was.
I will tell you another thing for me. So number one, the game lives on defense. The second thing that I have known my entire football life, and continues to be proven every year. And I urge anybody that listens to this to pay attention to it.
Uh-huh.
You will never have a great dominant defense without a great middle of the defensive line.
Yep.
Period.
Well said. Well,
Period. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
pick the defense on even my list. You've got Ravens, Bears, Steelers. I've got the Broncos,
the
50
the 76 Steelers.
Yes,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah, with me, Joe Green and Jack Lambert. Oof.
Oh, but that's what I was going to say.
I used to watch
Usually,
film on them when I was like 10. I was like, whoa.
on a great defense, and I have a tie at number 5 between the 69 Chiefs and the 78 Cowboys.
Oh yeah.
The middle of the line, people don't remember this, and it's never highlighted.
Yeah.
The MVP for the 78 Cowboys in the Super Bowl were 2 defensive tackles,
Exactly.
Randy White and Harvey Martin.
They
People
disrupted
don't-
the game.
They dominated, literally dominated the middle.
Yeah.
And when the Broncos in 2015, when we got rid of Malik Jackson after that, I told everyone I know,
Yeah.
we're done.
You saw
done.
you saw what happened.
I'm telling you, the Chiefs, Curly Culp in 69.
Yeah.
You've got the Bears, obviously, Refrigerator, can't forget him.
And having you could tell that when you don't have your D-line, you could tell that Von Miller sacks went down because and guess who he has this year? Drill Casey. Guaranteed he gets 12 plus sacks this year. Watch.
I am
Because you
praying
got a
for it.
man
Yes.
in the middle. Drill Casey's a man.
Yes.
He
And I'm
remember
t-
Terrence Knighton. They pushed the middle. So
Yes.
exactly. So the only
You're the
I got
man there. That's exactly it.
So I have the 85 Bears at 1. The only reason why is because their stats in the playoffs. Listen to this. They had 2 shutouts and only allowed 10 points in 3 games, an average of 2.7 a game. Like like Ravens were like 5 per thing, and then they allowed like 16 total points, so they're right there. But I mean, 2 shutouts, and you know the Bears, Bucktis, Singletary. I mean, that was, ooh man. And they had Buddy Ryan as their DC. Man, that guy. Ooh. But yeah, it's a close battle between those. But as great as the 2015 Broncos were, they still gave up yards and points, so they're still going to be top 5 in my eye, because of the amount of takeaways and how many games they literally won. But you can't be 1 or 2. They wouldn't let you. They would be mad if you got a 5-yard rush. Like the coach would get on you and be like, "Why didn't you tackle him at the line of scrimmage?"
Middle of the line again.
Yeah, exactly.
And usually the other thing too is you have a strong middle, but you also have a middle linebacker usually behind that is a tackling machine. Ray Lewis was probably the best tackling linebacker there ever was. For tackling, pure tackling ability, I don't think anybody was fiercer, more deadly than Ray Lewis. And him and Siragusa, remember Goose?
Yep. Oh yeah.
I mean, that middle there was no go.
Yeah,
You were going nowhere.
I love hearing him. Okay, well that's pretty good. Who do you got at your last couple defenses?
Well, those were the Chiefs and the
Okay.
Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
The 78 Cowboys. Yeah. So
Okay,
I have them
good.
in order: Ravens, Bears, Steelers, 76 Steelers, 15 Broncos for the reasons you talked about, which is the takeaways. The 69 Chiefs were just a thing of beauty.
Oh yeah.
And they were solid everywhere. They were
I hate
solid
talking about the
everywhere.
Chiefs, but hey, we recognize greats when we recognize greats, you know?
Yeah. They were just, to me, one of the best defenses you could ever dream up. You know.
Definitely.
And the 78 Cowboys, like I said, hard to find a more dominating defense. You know, very
Okay,
hard.
we'll end with this really quick. Who's your Super Bowl prediction this year?
Wow.
Yeah.
You know,
Put you on
this
the
is going
spot.
to sound again because I voted in best quarterback, but
Yeah.
I totally 100% see a Chiefs repeat.
Yeah.
100%.
What's really tough about that is teams that have the same team are going to start off September and October so hot, because, like, as much as I think Denver will do better, I think us and other teams are going to struggle a little bit in the beginning because, you know, we got a new OC, we got a whole new weapons. Chiefs have the same, so that's why the Niners, the Chiefs, the Saints, they're going to start off like booming because
I would love to see a rematch because I think Kyle Shanahan has immense potential
Yeah.
to be one of the greatest ever.
He does, and he made those bad decisions with Atlanta and the Niners, but he just, I mean, his run game. I mean, look at the Shanahans. They all the running games. They just produce 1,000-yard rushers.
You go in there, Gil.
It's
You'll get
amazing,
1,000
and I
yards.
think because he's young enough,
Yep.
and it will torture him. This last Super Bowl and the one before, where he was the OC
Yeah.
for Atlanta, they're both going to torture him,
Yeah.
and they're going to torture him no end. And this is what's going to make him a great one. And not
Great.
too bad for a CCHS alumni, right?
Oh yeah, and
Most people don't realize Kyle Shanahan is a Cherry Creek High School product.
Yes, he is from Denver, Colorado. Yes, he is, and he played at UT as a wide receiver. I still can't get over John for not hiring Kyle. We almost got Kyle and Wade Phillips. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Gil.
Wade Phillips to me takes my heart.
Exactly.
The same thing I said about Josh McDaniels, I could say about him on the other side.
Exactly. But hey, Gil, we got to go. But it was great talking to you. Great having a legend on my show, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a good day.
You're the man, David. Thank you. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Dave's right. You're wrong.
So on First Take, Max Kellerman said something that is just total BS, and I don't agree with at all. I just want to pull it up so I make sure I quote it exactly. But Max Kellerman said, Anthony Davis is the first guy to come along, and you say that guy could challenge Tim Duncan as the best who ever did it at the position. That is just laughable. Max Kellerman, go stick to boxing, because that's what you know, and that's all that you know. Duncan's a 3-time Finals MVP, 5-time NBA champion, and 15-time Defense Player of the Year. Like, guess what Anthony Davis has done? Won a playoff series. And don't say, oh, he played for the Pelicans. I don't care. That's what the facts are. You can't say a guy's close to him when he literally won one playoff series and has nowhere as stats as Tim Duncan. Plus, Tim Duncan wasn't injury prone, and Tim Duncan did this his whole career. He was even great when he was older. It just, Tim Duncan wasn't a flashy player. He was big fundamental. So, like, AD is flashy. Talent-wise, yes, I agree. He could probably be the most talented power forward to ever play. But you never even say AD's a top 10 or even top 20 player. You do with Tim Duncan. He's one of the best to ever do it. And at his position, I think Charles Barkley, KG, and Karl Malone, and Kevin McHale are all closer to Duncan than AD was. Like, I don't even think it's comparable. Yeah, Barkley didn't win a championship, but look at what he's done, you know, going to the finals, like, just dominating the league for so long. Like, AD is great, but his fourth quarter stats this year aren't that great in closing games. So hopefully he proves me wrong. But even if he wins a championship this year, he's still not it. Even if he wins another one, he's still not it. Tim Duncan is one of the best ever. So Max Kellerman, like I said, go back to boxing and stop talking about stuff you don't know. Thank you. Dave's right, you're wrong.
Dave's Denver Dose.
Can you say Rocktober? Maybe it's a little early for that, but the Rockies are 10-3. Yes, you heard it, 10-3. Let's go. Their hitting has been like lights on. Starting pitching has been great. Story MVP candidate. Daniel Murphy is hitting great. Everyone is doing amazing, except for the bullpen is kind of struggling a little bit. You definitely need to make a move at the trade deadline for a bullpen if you want to talk about competing for a World Series. The Denver Nuggets are 2-2 so far in the bubble without having Jamal, Gary, or Burton, which I say is pretty good. They were up 1 with 5 minutes left against the Blazers with 4 starters out and Joker only having 8 points and not really playing the fourth quarter. Michael Porter ate my words, by the way. Since that game against Miami, he actually texted Malone 3 times that night saying I can be better. And guess what? He was better. And he's been just a star. And everyone's like, we need to find that third guy. If Porter's that third guy, I do think we'll win a championship in the next couple years with Joker, Jamal, and Millsap. The Avs are 2-0 so far in the round robin tournament. Let's go. They actually had a buzzer beater against St. Louis. Yeah, a buzzer beater in hockey. Right with 0 seconds left. It was amazing. Like I said, they have the best chance to win a championship out of all the 4 sports teams. The Denver Broncos, Juwan James opted out last week, which I'm not surprised. And like what I talked about last week about opting out, this is exactly what I'm talking about. He waits to the last day to opt out because he said his newborn baby. First of all, this kind of sounded harsh, but newborn babies don't even want their dada. They want their mama. Plus, Juwan James, you haven't earned anything with this team. We paid you. You haven't showed your city the team, anything, your fans, your teammates. So don't you think you need to prove it? But anyways, I don't want you here. Go retire. Thanks for joining Double Take Dave. It was an honor to be with you guys. I'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.
It's Double Take Dave. It's Double Take Dave. It's Double Take Dave.